I'm going to be talking to you all about my new Sailrite. So welcome again, and I thought, what can I do it on? Well, for the past few weeks I've been doing lots of work on this little baby. So as you know, Carl bought the Sailrite for me as a combined birthday Christmas present, and I just wanted to go through a few things and let you know how happy or what I'm not happy about with it. And basically, is it worth the money? Is it worth spending hard-earned cash and getting one? So I love doing sewing. I've always done little bits of sewing at home, and I've never done clothing, although I've done little bits and bobs for my granddaughter. But I've done things like curtains and stuff for the house. And I always had what they classed as a heavy duty, although it was still a domestic sewing machine, and that was a Singer 4423. I've still got that on the boat, and it's underneath in the shed, as we call it, which is one of our berths that we throw everything into and store stuff in. Nobody actually sleeps in there, we've just got everything all in there. But I've still got that one down there, and it was quite sufficient for doing repairs for like the seats that I'm on, so any inside cockpit stuff, so the cushions that I was using. I also actually managed to do it by managed to put replacement windows in the spray hood with my Singer 4423. But I wanted to do more and more things. One, because I enjoy sewing, but also I was hoping that I'd be able to save lots of money by doing stuff myself. So as I said, Carl bought me this Sailrite, little beauty, for Christmas. And as you can probably tell, I absolutely love it. Why do I love it? Because I'm not having to spend time pulling my hair out, basically, as I was with my Singer. So my Singer would go through material. Yes, it would go through, say, 2 or 3 layers of Sunbrella, but I would have to crank the end a lot, do things manually with my hand to try and get the needle to work through the 2 or 3 amounts of layers of Sunbrella that was on there. And the actual, I don't know what bit you'd call of it, where the needle was in, whether you call it the shank or whatever, the bit that was holding it together and then would come down and work the needle, just physically is not strong enough to do any more jobs. So I was a bit worried about buying a Sailrite because it is a lot of money. So I thought, is it going to be worth it? Are the pros going to outweigh the cons? To be honest, the only downside of the LS, this is an actual LSZ-1 Sailrite. The only downside with it is the weight of it. It's pretty heavy, but having said that, I can still pick it up. Yeah, I'm a woman, it is meant to be portable, but this is like the workhorse, the best portable you can buy for sewing things when you're on a boat. It's quite heavy. I'm like struggling. It's any heavier and I'd struggle, but I can lift it up onto the table. We have had to buy, though, a trolley. So if you're thinking of buying one, get one of those quite strong trolleys to be able to carry it, for example, to we've gone into the yacht club over there and I've done quite a lot of stuff. It is easy to use for anything on the boat. If there's anything of any size, the only problem, as in sails and bimini that I've done, I have gone to the yacht club purely because we've got a big table to be able to lay things out, and there's not enough room like in the cockpit or downstairs on the boat to be able to lay your material out and be able to do things easily. But if I'm honest, this is actually worth its weight in gold. And every time I've done a project, every time I've done anything, any repairs, and I'm starting to add up with my portfolio of things that I've done, every time I've done a job, I give it a little kiss because it's that good at everything. So I paid, or Carl paid, I think it was something 2,200, something like that, euros. Pounds was it? Oh, we're shouting pounds. £2,200 equivalent, English pounds equivalent of, for this. In comparison, my Singer would have been about £500, so probably 4 times, if not more, as much as it. But with the Singer, any job that I tried doing, I would be pulling my hair out frantically, honestly, because I would do something on the practice material with the thickness that I was going to use. Then when I came to do the actual jobs, I would have skip stitches. I'd have what they call bird's nesting underneath, where all the threads just all mixed up like that. Needle breaking, thread shredding, and I tried all different kinds of thread, and I knew that was okay. I was starting to think that it was like user error, and Carl kept saying, it's you, you must be doing something wrong. And honestly, I could have pulled my hair out with the Singer 4423 more times than anything. So when I do a job now with a lovely old Sailrite, I kiss it every time, because it goes through the material through so many thick layers that it's just so easy. It's like a knife through butter with this thing, and everything on it is so solid. All the mechanics of it are brilliant. Absolutely, I say it's like a workhorse going through stuff. And I've only just gone through a Facebook page called Sewing on Boats, and there are more and more people that are saying, what am I doing wrong with, I've got this kind of thread on my Singer heavy duty, what am I doing wrong? And to be honest, you're not doing anything wrong. It is purely the fact that they are still domestic machines. They are not an industrial machine like this is. So you've basically got 3 different kinds of machine. You've got your domestic that you would do homeware on, sewing clothing, sewing houseware stuff on. That's your Singer that I had. The next move up is this, in what they call an industrial machine, and this is like probably the smallest industrial machine that you can get, in the fact that it's portable. You've got your little box that goes over the top so you can carry it around. Then your next industrial machines are like this, but then we'll have a table that they're fastened into. So that would be the next step up. Obviously you can't have that on a boat, but that is the only basic difference between this and a proper industrial machine, is that it's stuck to a table itself, so that the whole thing is more rigid. The only downside as well, another downside shall I say, is I was disappointed with how much space I've got in this underneath the arm of the Singer. If they could make that a bit bigger, so that when you've got big sails, for example, the actual rolling up to be able to fit it underneath, you will struggle with this. So I can do things like repairing the leech, the luff, fancy words for me, aren't they, for the sail? So I can do the edges of it. But if there was any kind of patching to be done, for example, if you wanted to do that right in the middle of your sail, you'd struggle being able to get the material actually through underneath the underarm of it, and might have to go to a sail loft to get that repaired. But this baby can be used obviously with electricity that you plug in, and you have a foot pedal like this, but you can also use it just with a hand crank. So I can take it up to the front of the boat and repair, like we've got to on the jib, we've got to repair the bottom of that sail there. So I'm hoping that this little baby will do it. But yeah, I just absolutely love it. The only problems is the weight, maybe, and restricted in size of what you can get under there. But other than that, it is worth every single penny of it. I wish there were more outlets this side in the Med. I had to get this one from a guy in Italy who just sold machines. It wasn't a Sailrite provider, but he could get that in for me. There are other brands on the market that are copies of Sailrite, and perhaps Chinese or Japanese copies. Yes, they will be pretty good, but I know full well that when I don't want this any longer, I could easily sell it for quite a lot of money as a second-hand market, just because it's a Sailrite. Oh, and the other thing, there's 2, if you're thinking of buying one, you've got two options. You've got the LS1 and the LSZ-1, and basically the only difference between them is the fact that the LSZ, the one with the Z letter on it, can do zigzag and the other one can't. If you're thinking of using it for sails, or in fact anything that will need a little bit of a stretch or a pull, like I'm going to do the dinghy chaps with the vinyl around, that needs to have a zigzag on it, just because there's a little bit of a stretch where it's needed on there. So this little baby, my Sailrite, will cope easily with it. And if I'd have bought the LS one, I'd be thinking, oh, I wish I'd got a zigzag on it just for those kind of things. So yeah, they're not paying me any money to do this video, Sailrite. I've not got any connections at all with Sailrite, but this is well worth buying the money. I love it. I love everything about it, apart from those minor things, and it's absolutely worth every penny to me, and I will be using it as much as I possibly can in future. So there you are. Get your money out. It's well worth doing it, and you will save yourself a lot of stress and a lot of hassle trying to do it on your other domestic machines. So I hope that's been okay for you. Any questions? Yeah, please post it to me and I'll be happy to answer anything that I possibly can. And I'll see you in next week's video. Until then, bye bye.
Well, we hope you've enjoyed this episode. Why not pop over to our Patreon page, where we have over 130 patron-only posts, exclusive videos and lots more. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and click that subscribe button.